here to show you how to crochet hopefully with the kit that you've picked up, a little produce bag, a reusable produce bag. It's got handles and it looks, is gonna look a little different than yours because I used a different yarn for mine. But yours, it's gonna look a little smaller than you think, but it'll stretch out, and you can, in mine, I can fit a couple of bell peppers with room to spare. A couple of bell peppers, put in like a tomato or something, and there'll be a little bit of room to spare. But it's a pretty good sized produce bag. And like I said, it's reusable. You can just wash it in your washer and dryer with all your clothes and everything. So in your kit that you would have picked up at the library, you should have a crochet hook. Yours will look different than this, but it should be size G or 4 millimeters. Yours I think is gonna have a plastic handle instead of be all metal like this. And you should have 2 balls of yarn. They won't look exactly like this, but mine's just wrapped up on a card, but you'll have 2 balls of yarn. You've got enough yarn to make a large one, so one about this size, and then also a smaller one, so it's just a little bit smaller. But you'll have enough supplies to make 2 reusable produce bags. You'll also have in your bag the sheet with instructions with the actual pattern on it. So you can follow the pattern, and you could use this video to help you crochet your produce bag. So let's get started. The pattern starts with a magic ring and then crocheting 6 single crochet into it. So to start with a magic ring, you'll hold on to the tail in your hand. You'll wrap the rest of it around your fingers, and you'll go under the first one. You'll make an X wrapping it around. You'll go under the first one, grab the second one and pull it under, pull out your fingers. And you don't have to hold your yarn the way I do. I kind of interweave it in my fingers. You don't have to do that. I just do it that way. But anyway, you'll get your yarn how you want it, and you'll make what's called a chain right here that'll help lock this in place. You'll grab the yarn and just pull it through that loop. And then our 6 single crochet. So for a single crochet, you go into the loop, grab your yarn and pull it through. So you've got 2 loops on your hook. Then you'll yarn over, grab your yarn again, and pull it through both loops. And we're gonna do 6 of those. So that's 1, whoops, go in, grab your yarn and pull it out. Grab your yarn, pull through both, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like that. And yeah, while you're crocheting into your magic ring, it is gonna get bigger, but that's all right. We'll pull out this stitch a little bit, and I'm just gonna loop it onto my finger so I can hold it into place. Let's move my yarn over. There we go. And then we'll close up your magic ring. Remember that tail you held onto? You're just gonna grab that and pull it, and that's gonna tighten your ring. That's why it's called a magic ring. So you've got just this tiny little bit to start with, which is fine. So you should have your 6 stitches. I'm gonna put my hook back in here. There we go. You can kind of leave this tail just hanging. We'll leave that in the end. Okay? And then you'll start with, you'll want to slip stitch it into the first single crochet right there. So if it helps, let me show you. Each single crochet, if you look, has kind of these 2 loops right here. This one here and here. And that's what you'll be working under. Each crochet has that couple of loops there. Just like that. So if you want to count your stitches, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That little one right there. This is kind of the tricky part. You want to slip stitch into that one. And slip stitch is kind of like half of a single crochet. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So we'll want to go into that first stitch. We'll want to go under those 2 loops of that first stitch right here. It's going to be a little tricky because it's kind of small. There's one, and there's the other. Your hook should slide right in. Sometimes it helps if you turn your hook sideways to go in. So now that we've got it in that stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull through, kind of like we're doing a single crochet, except instead of yarning over to pull through those two, we're just going to pull that loop through this first one here. We're going to tighten it a little bit, just pull on it to tighten. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start doing double crochets, and I'll show you how to do that, but first we want to chain 5. So we'll just yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to act as our first double crochet. But we're going to do a double crochet in that same stitch right here, that same first stitch. That one right there. So to do a double crochet, you'll yarn over. Well, you'll wrap your yarn first around your hook. Just go under and wrap it, and then you'll go down and into the stitch here. Then you'll yarn over and pull that through. So you'll notice you've got 3 loops on your hook. And this takes a little bit of practice. Take your time trying to do this because it took me a while before I got it. So you'll have 3 hooks or 3 loops on your hook right here. For a double crochet, you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So you've only got 2 left on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through those 2. And that's a double crochet right there. But our aim for this round is to double crochet and chain 2. Chaining 2 in between each double crochet, see the chain 2 was just the yarn over and pull through, is to give it a bit of a gap, kind of like this. So this would be like a double crochet with our chain 2 right here, even though we did just chains. So we'll wrap over, and in the next stitch we're going to do, oh, we're doing 2, we're increasing, that's right. So we're going to increase, we're going to do 2 double crochet and chain 2s in each stitch. Now this one, because we did our chaining and our double crochet, that one's already done. But in this next stitch, we're going to do double crochet. So wrap our yarn under, put your hook under and then up to wrap it in. And then you'll go under, see those loops right there, those 2, that's our stitch. We'll go right under that. Just like that. And we'll yarn over and pull it through. You don't want to keep these too tight, but you'll want to even out your pressure so that they're not way out here as well. We'll yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And like I said, this round we're doing double crochets and chain 2s, so right now we need to chain our 2, so yarn over and pull through. And then we're doing another double crochet in that same spot. So we're going to yarn over, go right into that same stitch that we just worked in, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over, pull through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're doing that for each stitch, so we're going to do that again. We're going to do 2 chains, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2. We're going to chain 2 and do it again. Don't forget your chain 2. Oops, don't mind the cat hair. I'm gonna pull out more yarn here. More yarn to work with. Okay. And then we got to do 2 in the next. Yarn over. That next one's right there. Yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops. yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2. Oops, there we go. 1, 2, and another double crochet in that same spot. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull out. So we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we got a chain 2. So like I said, that chain 2 leaves gaps in between each of these, and I'll show you why we do that later. But next stitch, same thing right here. Chain 2, double crochet in, and we're going to be doing a lot of those double crochets and then chain 2s. We're going to be doing that a lot throughout this entire process, this entire project. So you'll get the feel of it down pretty quick. And that's our last stitch right there. So yarn over, do the double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2. And that right there was our last stitch, and we did 2 in that. So what we should have are 6 double crochets, so, or not 6, I'm sorry, 12 double crochets, because we increased. So counting this set of chains right here, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So you can see it's kind of a little bit of a circle here. And if your magic circle opens up a little bit, you can just grab your tail and pull on it, and that'll close it just a little more. All right. And as you're going, if you want, you can mark on your sheet or on your pattern sheet which round you've done. So we just completed round 2, if you're keeping track. But for the end of round 2, actually I forgot this one little bit, we got to join with a slip stitch into the chain 5 space. So if you look, if you pull it out, that was our first chain right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one right there. You see the 2 loops right there? This one here and this one here. We're going to go under those. And if it helps for you, what I do is I use the hook to kind of hook that first one, that first loop. And then I can just kind of push it under that second one. But we're going to slip stitch into that. And if you recall, the slip stitch was kind of like a single crochet. You just yarn over, pull through, and then just pull through the loop on your hook. We're going to tighten that up. And again, now we can start round 3. And again, we're going to start with our chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. And the pattern says in the same space of this, we're going to do another double crochet and chain 2. So this will be like our increasing. You'll notice that we're going to be increasing on just the corners. So we'll do an increase here. We'll yarn over, go right into this space right here. Pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. And yarn over, pull through 2. So we've got 2 stitches right in there. And then we're going to be working, rather than in these stitches, we're going to be working in these empty spaces right here, these big spaces. So we're going to do so in these next 2 spaces, so this space right here and this space right here, we're just going to do 1 set of double crochet chain 2. So we did our double crochet here, we got a chain 2. But in this empty space right here, so we're going to yarn over, and instead of going into a stitch, we're just going to go into this space right here, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do our chain 2, and we're going to do the same thing in the next big empty space right here. Just do 1. But yeah, where we increase here are going to be the corners of our square, because what we're essentially starting with the pattern is a big old square. So right here in this blank space, we're going to do, instead of just 1, we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2s. So there's 1 double crochet, chain 2. We're going to do that again right in this same space right here. 1 double crochet, chain 2. So we've increased here, and we're just doing 1 single stitches here and here. So for the next 2 spaces, we're doing 1 double crochet and chain 2. So here and here, and then here we're going to do the 2 double crochet, chain 2s. So yarn over, go in, into that gap, pull out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain, pull through, and in the next gap, double crochet, pull through 2, whoops, chain 2, and then here, because we did 1 and 2, we're going to do our increase right here, the 2 double crochet, chain 2s. Double crochet, chain 2, and in that same space, double crochet, chain 2. So as you see, it looks like we've kind of made corners here. This is getting us our square that we're starting with. So in the next 2, we're just doing 1 double crochet and chain 2. Oops, messed up there. There we go. Double crochet. There it goes. Chain 2. Double crochet into this one. Chain 2. And then we're increasing here because we did our 2 singles. We're going to increase right here. So double crochet, chain 2, whoops, chain 2, double crochet in the same space, and then chain 2. Pull out more yarn. Gotta do my chain 2. There we go. And then because we started an increase here and an increase here, we just have the 2 spaces, this one and this one, to do a single double crochet, or to do 1 double crochet and chain 2 in each of those. So 1 double crochet, chain 2, and then the next right there, double crochet, and chain 2. And again, we're going to slip stitch into that chain 5 space. So it should be this one right here, this loop and this loop. But to count, you'll want to pull that out because this one right here at the bottom, that one right there at the bottom is the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, it's a slip stitch. We're going to go under that first one. There we go. And then I can go under the second one. Just like that. And a slip stitch again is just yarn over, pull in, and then pull through that loop on your hook. And that was round number 3. And then from here on, we just kind of keep doing that. So if you look, it's got a little bit of a square shape, but we're just going to keep doing that. We're going to increase in each of the corners. So each of the spots where there's 2 double crochet, we're going to do 2 double crochet chain 2s, and in each other one, we're just doing a single double crochet and chain 2. But first we start with our chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to double crochet in this. I'm going to go ahead and do it in this gap right here. Double crochet in this gap instead of in that stitch. 1, 2, and then chain 2. There's our increase. We're going to do 1 in the next. Because this is round 4, chain 2, 1 in the next, chain 2, and 1 in this one, chain 2, and then we're doing 2 in this one, so double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same spot, this same gap, and chain 2. So if you'll notice, because we're increasing on the corners, we have 1 extra space in the middle to do 1. See, so instead of the 2, we had 3 single spots here. That's what you'll see as you keep increasing. You'll see 1 more on each side. And we'll just keep going. Pull out lots and lots of yarn. There we go. So we'll double crochet. We did our chain 2. We're going to double crochet right in this gap. Chain 2, double crochet in gap number 2, chain 2. Don't forget your chain 2s, because otherwise you're going to scrunch this together. The chain 2s are important here. Double crochet here, chain 2, and then we're at the corner again, and to help you identify the corner, every time you do a corner, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a V in the same gap. So we're going to do 2 here. Double crochet, chain 2, second double crochet in the same gap, chain 2. Whoops. Let me grab my loop there. It's trying to escape. I think I undid that chain. Yep, I did. Chain 1, chain 2. 1 double crochet in the next gap, chain 2, 1 double crochet in the next gap, chain 2, 1 double crochet in the next gap, chain 2, the next one's that V there, the 2 and 1, so that's our corner, so we're doing 2 more there. Chain 2, second double crochet in the same spot, chain 2. All right, we're on side number 4, double crochet in that spot, chain 2, double crochet in the next space, chain 2, double crochet in the next space, chain 2, and then slip stitch in that chain 5 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one looks a little funny, but it's this one right here. And then this one right here. If you have a hard time telling apart your chains from each other, especially in your chain 5 here, just always remember that the next stitch is the 2 spots for the next stitch. Those 2 loops come out of the loop for this stitch previously, for the previous stitch. Always, always, always. So if you look at, well, let me go ahead and do my slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that, pull through the loop on my hook. I'm gonna pull that up. So if you look, even with the chain, so it's a little spacier, that chain. These sets of chains have a little more space to them, but there's one here, that first one, and then the second one comes out of it, that one here, that one here. And the third one comes out of these 2, this one and this one. It's a little hard to see them sometimes. That's why I thought I'd show them to you. So, looks like we've got a slightly bigger square. And you're just gonna keep doing the same thing. The chain 5 here, and then double crochet here and chain 2. Single double crochet in these gaps. And then chain 2. Don't forget your chain 2s. You need to keep these gaps going. And in the corners, which have this V, because there's 2 of them there, you'll do 2 double crochet chain 2s. And this will just keep making your square get bigger and bigger. Just steadily bigger and bigger. So for the larger ball of yarn that you have, you can go up to 16 rounds of increases. The second one you can do about 14. So 16 you're going to end up with a larger one. So this one's 16, you can see all these rows. It's going to end up pretty big. So it'll take a little while. You can easily do this. I'm going to do one more round with you, and then I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to after you've done the big square. So one more round. This will be round number 5. So we're gonna start our round 5 with chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna double crochet into this empty space right here. Whoops, I missed it. Double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then chain 1, chain 2, 1 double crochet here. Whoops, jumping off of my hook here. There we go. Let me get that cat hair out of the way. So we did our double crochet. We're going to do chain 2, double crochet here in this gap, and then chain 2, double crochet here, chain 2, got another one, whoops, chain 2, there we go. Like I said, don't forget your chain 2s, those are important. Double crochet here, chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 here. That's our increase. Double crochet number 1, chain 2, double crochet number 2, chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2, chain 2, there we go. 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. So you'll notice I'll use this finger quite often to kind of help hold stuff on. I'm going to go ahead and redo that for you. Sometimes it helps for me when I go to yarn over to do a double crochet, I'll hold on to it so it doesn't slip off my hook when I try to go in for that 3rd loop. You don't have to do that, that's just how I do it. Helps me a little bit. Chain 2, another double crochet, chain 2, 2. That's our corner. We can tell by the V because of the 2 double crochets, so we're doing another set of 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 2, 2nd double crochet, whoops. My hook really likes to slip out of my yarn today. Chain 2, 2nd double crochet, chain 2. Do another single double crochet here, chain 2, single double crochet here, chain 2. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say single double, I should just say 1 double. 1 double crochet here, chain 2, 1 double crochet here, chain 2. And that's another V, so that's our corner. Oops, I forgot my chain 2. So we're gonna do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 2nd, whoops, chain 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. 2nd double crochet. Pull through, and then chain 2. One double crochet here, one, 2, 1 double crochet here, chain, whoops, only got half of my strand here, there we go, chain 2, 1 double crochet here, chain 2. We got another gap right here, don't want to forget this one. 1 double crochet, chain 2, and we're back at the beginning, so we're going to slip stitch into our chain 5 space. So there's 1, 2, 3, that one's a little loose, 4, 5, it's right here. There we go. Just slip stitch into that. Okay. So as you keep going until you're 14 or 16 rounds, you'll want to keep track of your number. Things to not forget. Don't forget to do your chain 2s after each single crochet. And don't forget to do the increase in the corners where it's already got 2 there. Because you'll see each corner has 2 single crochet, or I'm sorry, not single crochet, double crochet. So don't forget to do those. Otherwise it's gonna start looking a little funky. And don't forget here, I messed this up before. Don't forget this gap right here, right before the chain 5. And it's gonna be okay if your chain 5 kind of sticks out a little bit, it's looser than the rest. See how far this one sticks out comparatively? That's okay, that's fine. It'll be all right. But don't forget to do your last single crochet in that space right here. Or double crochet. your last double crochet in that space right here. Now we're going to fast forward to when we've got our 14 or 16 rows, so when our square is going to be much bigger. It's going to be like this. Okay, as you can see, I've almost got my 16th row finished here. I've just got a couple more stitches left, but you can see how much bigger this is compared to where we left off, which was just the little square. So yep, you're gonna wanna look for it to be about this big, and your bag overall isn't gonna look that big when we're through. So like I said, I'm almost done with the 16th round here. I'm gonna put my crochet hook back in, and I'm gonna do the last couple of stitches for you. So it's the chain 2, double crochet right here. Chain 2, double crochet here. Oops, let's try that again. Double crochet, there we go. Chain 2, double crochet, and I've got one more to go. So chain 2, double crochet in that last spot, and then slip stitch in our 5th chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Go in that side, and then under that side right there. And it's a slip stitch, so we just yarn over and pull under that and through the loop. Just like that. Now what we're going to start doing is, instead of increasing, we're going to start gathering rounds, or gathering our stitches. So first we're going to start by chaining 1. We're going to do 1 chain. And we're instead going to start doing single crochets. So in every corner space, so every space with this corner right here, we're going to do 1 single crochet, a chain, and a single crochet. And then in each other space, we're going to do another chain. We're going to chain 1. And then at every other side space, we're going to do a single crochet and a chain 1. So single crochet is you go in to your space, yarn over and pull up. So you've got just the 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through those. And then we're going to chain 1. We're going to do this in each of the side spaces. We're going to go into the space, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both, and then another chain. And it's going to look a little stretched, which is okay. Like the stitches are some of the stitches are longer than others. That's fine. Yep, I did my chain 1 there. Oops, forgot my chain 1 almost. There we go. A little more yarn out, there we go. Chain 1, single crochet, Okay, we're almost at our corner here. There we are. Now we're at the corner. So we do that single crochet and chain one, and then like I said before, in each corner we're going to do a single crochet, chain one, single crochet. Whoops. In every corner spot we're doing 2 single crochets with a chain one in between, and then we go back to our side piece, to our side spaces. So chain one, single crochet in the next space, chain one, single crochet in the next space, and just keep continuing with that for this round. Oops. And hopefully your hook won't jump out of its loop as often as mine does. Single crochet, single crochet, chain one, so you'll see the chain one and the single crochets if you look. The single crochets you'll notice are the longer ones. Gotta pull out more yarn here. Okay. And looks like we're at another corner. So we're gonna do the 1 single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the same spot, chain 1, and then we're back to doing just the 1 single crochet in each space with a chain 1 in between. Chain 1. I did not do a chain 1 there. Oh, yes I did. I didn't think I did. Let's pull that out just a little more. There we go. We're about halfway around. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, because of the way that you do the rounds where you bunch up the stitches, where you gather the stitches. If you wanted to make yours a different size, you'll want to do this, or you'll want to do the increasing rounds in even numbers. So like I said, you have enough yarn in your kit to do one with 16 rounds and one with 14 rounds. Oops. Keep going here. Okay, so we're at another corner. We do single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the same space, chain 1 onto the last side here. And like I mentioned before, you know it's the corner because, and I'll show you in just a second, you know it's the corner because it's got those 2 stitches right there. It's got that V. And just keep going. Almost done. It doesn't look like we're gathering rounds right now, but it will. There we go. Single crochet, chain 1, chain 1, there we go. We're almost done here. Single crochet, chain 1, and that's where we started. So we've got one more spot. We've got 2 more spots. Single crochet, chain 1. Oh nope, I think that's the last. I forgot to do my chain 2 there, so for now I'm just gonna go ahead and do it right there anyway. Yep, I forgot my chain 2. So we're gonna chain 1 there, and then we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. Yep, into that first single crochet. So if you look, that's where we came out, so that would have been our slip stitch, or our chain. Our chain would have been that little one right there. So our single crochet is right here in the top. Those 2 loops right here. So we'll go under this one and that one. We're going to slip stitch, pull through, just like that. Okay. And then the next round, you're actually going to need some stitch markers. You can buy little plastic stitch markers for your crochet, or you can use, typically what I do is I use scrap pieces of yarn. Move my camera just a little bit, there we go. I typically use scrap pieces of yarn, or I don't have any yarn on me, so I'm going to use safety pins, but we'll need a few of them to mark certain stitches for this round. So we've done our chain 1 into that first single crochet, or that slip stitch, I'm sorry, into the first single crochet. We're going to chain 1, and then in the same crochet we're going to do 1 single crochet, same stitch. Double checking my pattern here. We're going to do another crochet, single crochet in that chain 1 space. Where am I? Oh, I think I see it. I had to look. It's a little tough to see. So in that first single crochet, and then we're going to do another crochet in this little chain 1 space. So you want to go under those 2 loops. This might be a little tough to get your hook underneath because it's going to be a little tight probably. But make sure you go under both loops. If it helps you do the first, you can do the first loop first, like I do, and then go under the second. But we're doing a single crochet there. This one's going to take a little bit of weaseling. Might help if I move my hook in just a little bit further to widen it out before I grab my yarn. There we go. There we go. So single crochet there, and then a single crochet in that second one. So that'd be this one right here, in that second single crochet we had. So in each corner you're going to have 3 single crochet stitches, and that's what you want to mark. You want to mark the first one and the first one and the third one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my safety pin. And if you're using like a scrap piece of yarn, you could just pull your bit of yarn through there. But if you're using safety pins like I am, just carefully kind of go into the stitch. You don't want to go between the threads. We're going to go ahead and close it so we don't stab ourselves. I'm going to use my hook to help widen that first one a little bit so I can see more clearly. Right there. We're going to use another safety pin. Like I said, I normally use scrap pieces of yarn, but I didn't happen to bring any with me today. There. So you want to mark the first and the last ones. Uh-oh, where did... Well, that still works. I only got that one. I'll fix that. Let me fix that. I only got one of them. There we go. I want to go under both loops. Okay. Let's get that back on get our yarn back on our hook. And then along the sides, you're going to work 1 single crochet into each space that was a chain. So this was our single crochet. This one right here was our crochet into that space, but we're going to work in the chain 1 space, which is this right here. This is the tough part, is just kind of determining the chain 1s versus the single crochets. And we're not going to do a chain 1 after each single crochet. We're just going to work into each chain 1 space. And if you'll notice, if you did, or when you do one side, if you did 16 rounds of increases, you should have 16 stitches per side. So that was my single crochet. You can tell because those pieces come out from the other side of this. So that one's my single crochet. This one's my chain 1. And you want to work in that space. You don't have to go in the chain 1, in the chain itself like we did before. Just go into the space. So we did that. That's our single crochet. The next one's our chain. We're going to go under that one. So yep, just keep looking for that. That's the single crochet. That one's the chain. We'll go into the chain. I'm going to speed up just a little bit because you know what you're looking for. Oops. I didn't do a chain 1 there. That's all right. I forgot a chain 1. I'll just make do. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. So there's my chain right there. That's my crochet because that goes into that. So this one's my chain. Looks like that one's my chain there. Not that one, but that one. As you'll notice, this is gonna kind of scrunch things up a little bit. That's exactly what we're looking for, is we're trying to scrunch it up. Right here. And that one's my next one right here. That's a tight one. Right here. There we go. We're almost at the corner, so I think I've got one more. Yep, right here, that chain one. And then if you recall, we do 3 single crochet stitches here. So we want to do one in the first single crochet, which is right here. We're going to do another in that chain one, which should be right here. And then another in that other single crochet space right here. And again, we're going to mark the first and the last of those. So I'm going to use my hook to open that up just a little bit. So I've got a nice gap. Grab a safety pin. We're going to open that up and stick that in. One right here. Grab a safety pin. So we're marking the first and the third. And then you'll just keep going from there. Keep doing the single crochets and the chain one spaces for the side. So that was our single crochet. So our chain one space is right here. That's our single crochet, so our next chain space is right here. That one's our stitch. That one goes into our stitch right here. So this one's our chain. There we go. Get the right word. So not that one, but this one. Oops. There's another one here. Our chain. There's a chain. I'm gonna get more yarn. This one here. This little one right here. We're coming up on the corner there, so we got just a couple more. here. And then we're at the corner, so we do 1 in the first single crochet, 1 in the chain 1 space, which is right here. There we go. Sorry if my camera's going a little extra blurry. Oops, I think I did a second one there. Yeah, let's try that again. Because there's my 1. My second one is right here, not over there. Right here. If this will cooperate. I think I got it. Yep, there we go. That time it worked. And then 1 in our other single crochet right here. And then we're going to mark those. So this one right here. Oops. And that one right there. Okay. And then I believe we're on our last side. If you don't have enough safety pins, what you could do is you could just mark the first one on each corner if you don't have the supplies. You just need to know that there's a starting one and an ending one. Okay, so my next chain will be right here, so a single crochet there. And here. Yep, right here. There we go. That one right here. There's one. Oops. Still got a few more to go. Oops. This one doesn't want to behave. There we go. So not that one, but this one. Pull out a little more yarn. So not that stitch, but this one right here. Oops. Where's my corner? Did I miss my corner? I did. I went right past it. That's my bad. Let me go back. I went right past my corner. There it is. There's my corner. So the nice thing about crochet is if you screw up, you can just pull on this, pull on your end here, and it'll just undo it. That's the nice thing about crochet if you make mistakes. Let me do a couple more stitches. There we go. I was gonna say, I had to have gone past it. There we go. Now we're at the corner. So, one in that single crochet, one in that chain one spot right here. I think this one's going to be a tight one. Right here. There we go. And then one in that other single crochet. And like I said, if I've only got one safety pin left, if you've only got, you know, enough for one for each corner, if you've only got 4, you can just mark that first of the 3 single crochet. So that's what I'm gonna do right here. I'm gonna stretch that out just a little bit with my hook. Oops, there it is. And just slip that right in that stitch right here. And you'll see why we're marking the corners here soon. Now we're on the last side. Just keep going with those chain stitches, or the single crochet stitches in the chains. There's another one. you can see, we're almost back to the start. We're here. I've got, that's our stitch. I've got one more chain right here. And then we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet right here. That first of the three. So go ahead and actually remove that pin. Oops. My hook was running away. And we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet right here. Okay, and now that you've completed that round, what you should have, if you've done 16 rows of increase, you should have 16 stitches on each side. Or if you did 14 rows of increase, you should have 14 stitches on each side. So now that we've slip stitched into here, we have to chain one. Always chain one at the start of a new round, at least one anyway, depends on your pattern. And then for each corner stitch, each of those three corner stitches, we're going to do one single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my pin here. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm just going to mark that first of the 3 stitches, that first stitch in the corner. Use my hook to widen that out a bit. Then we'll stick the pin back in there. Okay. And then now for each stitches, or for each of the side stitches, we're going to decrease. So like I said, if you did 16 rounds of increase, you should have 16 stitches, and our decreasing will change that down to 8. Whereas if you did that with your 14 rounds of increase, you'll have 7 instead. So to decrease, it's going to be just like a single crochet. Your pattern will say single crochet 2 stitches in 1, or 2 stitches together. But that's the same thing as a decrease. So we're going to go in like a normal single crochet and pull one up, but then we're going to go into the next stitch and pull one up like we're going to single crochet that one. So you'll have 3 loops on your hook, and we're just going to put those 2 together. Yarn over, pull through all 3. And that right there is a decrease or single crocheting 2 together. So I did 16 rounds of increase, so I should have 8 stitches, or 8 decrease stitches. So 1, 2, this is 2. 3, go in, yarn over, pull up, go in the next, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. And the next. That's 5, 6, 7. Looks like I made a mistake somewhere. I'm going to do my 8th stitch here real quick. My 8th single crochet 2 together. There's 8. And as you can see, somewhere I put in an extra stitch. As I said earlier, do as I say, not as I do. Hopefully you should have your 16 stitches instead of an extra one like I did, but I'm going to go ahead and skip over that. So I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to single crochet in that first stitch in the corner. So So I've got my 3 corner stitches. There's the second one. I'm going to take out this pin. Maybe. Okay. And number 3. And then I'm just going to use one of them to mark that first one. Just like that. I'm going to close up this other one so I don't get it caught on anything and set it to the side. Here we go. And again, I should have 16 stitches on this side. So I should be single crocheting 2 stitches together 8 times. So 8 decreases. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got an extra stitch there too, huh? Not sure what I did wrong, other than probably didn't count my stitches like I probably should have. That's probably why I screwed up, but you see I've got another extra one there. I'm just gonna skip that again. Again, do as I say, not as I do. I think this is the first time I've actually screwed it up. But that's what I get for not counting my stitches. So there's my extra one. I've got 3 stitches for the corner, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna stick it into that first one. Hopefully I didn't do that to all the sides, but who knows, I probably did. We'll find out. Now, the 2 single crochets together 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I really must have screwed up somewhere. Huh. 8. But hey, if you screwed up like I did, it's not gonna hurt too much if you skip that one. So take out my pin and do the 3 corner single crochets. That was my extra one, so 1, 2, 3. Gonna mark that first stitch right there. Trying not to get it in one of the threads, just trying to get it under. And last side. Single crochet 2 stitches together 8 times, or decreasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and yep, I've got another extra one. Like I said, count your stitches while you're going. Makes things a little bit easier, and you won't add extra ones like I did. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that one again. So even if you did have extra stitches like I did, now you should have the appropriate number. You should have 8 stitches per side. So I'm gonna slip stitch into that first single crochet, go in, pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. I'm gonna tighten that real good. So now I'm gonna set that aside. If you look, it's got much more of a pouch look to it. It's got a narrower opening where it's all collected, and then it opens up. That's how it should look. I'm gonna do a quick chain 1 here for the start of my next round. And now here's where it starts to get a little tricky. First, we're going to, actually, for our next round, and you can skip this round if you want to. This will just kind of help give it more of a lip, but we're gonna go ahead and do 1 single crochet in each all the way around. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna mark that stitch right there because that's our first in the corner. And like I said, we're doing 1 single crochet in each all the way around. So you should have the same number of stitches this round as you did the last. This will help this stand up a little more, just your edge here. Okay, we're at the next corner. So I'm gonna undo my pin. And do 3 single crochet in that corner. You can see there, that's where I skipped that stitch, but it'll be fine. It'll turn out all right. 1, 2, 3. And put our stitch marker back in there. Your pin, your extra piece of yarn, whatever it is you use to mark your stitch, put that back in. And keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, don't want to go in the pen, there we go, 8, get some more yarn here, there we go, undo the pin, do my 3 corner stitches, and then put the pin back in. Whoops. 2, 3. Put my pin back in that first stitch right there. And keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whoops, let's try that again, 7, and 8, and that's another first one. I think this is our last corner. One, 2, 3, 8 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again, we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch on the corner. So we got to remove our pin. We're going to do the slip stitch and chain 1. There's my slip stitch and my chain 1. Now, here's where it starts to get a little bit on the tricky side. We're going to start doing our handles, but first we're going to do crochets in the corner, or our single, let's try that again, our single crochets in the corner. So we're going to do 3 stitches. Yep, so 1, 2, and 3, and then don't forget to mark your first stitch right there. That's going to become really important here. Very important in this round. And now we're going to do a completely different stitch. Let me switch my papers. Now we're going to do what's called a foundation single crochet. It's a little funky, but basically what it looks like is it kind of looks like we're doing a chain and a single crochet in the same stitch. It's a little wonky, so watch carefully. We're going to go back into this stitch that we just did. Do I need to yarn over? Okay, that's right. So we're gonna go right into the middle of this stitch that we just did. You see how we've got the posts right there? And then the top of our stitch, we're gonna put our yarn or our hook through this one right here. It's gonna be a little rough at first. If you have to drop your yarn, you can. Right through that. Mine doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. So it's right through that one. And you're gonna notice, excuse me, you're gonna notice that there's also a supporting one right here. We wanna go under that too. That one right there. So we're kinda in the side of the stitch here. We're gonna yarn over and pull it through that. So we have 2 loops on our hook. And then yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through both. That right there is 1 foundation crochet. But you see how you've got your stitch top right there, those 2 loops right there. And it also looks kind of the same on the bottom. We're gonna do that again. Instead, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go under those top 2. Just go right in the middle of the stitch. Pull, yarn over, pull up. Yarn over, pull through first loop. Yarn over, pull through both. That's 2 stitches. We're gonna do that about 40 times. Depends on how long you want your handles. I wouldn't recommend going over 40 because then you might not have enough yarn for your other ball or for your other pouch. But we're gonna do that about 40 times. I'm gonna show you a couple slow motion ones. Again, you're gonna go in through the center, yarn over and pull up, so you have 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first, whoops, through the first. So you still have 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through both. It looks nice and neat when you get a whole bunch of them done. It really does. Go into the stitch. Yarn over, pull up. So we're going under those and kind of in those. It's right in the middle, as you can see. If you open it up a little, you go right in the middle of this stitch, in the middle of both sides. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through both. And when you count the stitches, you want to count the loops on the top. I'll show you that in a bit. Right back in the middle. Yarn over, pull up. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through both. Now the reason why we're doing this foundational single crochet is because actually it looks a little bit neater, but it's also a little more stable and a little thicker than if we were to just do a whole bunch of chains. Go in the center, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through both. And you're going to keep going until you have 40 of those. That's a lot. Get some more yarn out. Okay, so there's our stitch. Go in the middle. My hook doesn't want to go through. Come on. do a few more of these and then I'm going to skip ahead. But you can pause and continue doing about 40 or however long you want. Let's try to saying that again. However long you want your handles. I'm going to do just a couple more and then skip ahead. Pull through one, yarn over, pull through both. My hook does not want to behave today. There's my center. Okay, now that I've done a bunch, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to count your stitches. So if you start with your corner and then pull it out, it'll look a little twisted, that's fine. You're going to count on the top the sets of loops. So this one right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's 7. Like I said, it's going to look a little twisty. 8, 9, 10. You see those 2 are coming from that one. 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 of these currently. Like I said, you can pause and keep going, but for just the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do next once you've got those at whatever length you desire. So once you've got your handles as long as you want, you're going to skip this entire side, this entire first side, and just single crochet into that first stitch on the corner. Just single crochet right here. And that's going to attach your handle. Just like that. So it's going to be a big old loop. Mine's not very big, but yours will be much larger. And then from here, you can go ahead and get rid of this stitch marker, set it aside, and do the other 2 single crochet in the corner. And then because we want the handles to be on opposite sides, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch on this side. So another 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to go ahead and take this stitch marker out so we can do the next 3 for that corner. So do your next 3 stitches in the corner. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do our handles on this side. I'm starting to run out of yarn, so I'm not going to do all 40 stitches like I said before, or like I did before. Well, I didn't do it, but I'm not going to do all 40 stitches. But you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to start doing your foundation single crochet. So you've got this loop right here. We'll want to go in there, going kind of into that stitch right there. I'm going to turn it a little. It's a little hard to see. That stitch right there, or that piece right there, the one going straight up and down. Actually, let me pull that out. Like I said, it's hard to see because you have that one there, That one there, you don't want that one in front. You want to go in front of it. Because if you look at the front, you've got those two pieces standing up. That's what you want to go into. Put my yarn back on my hook. We're going to go in front of that, or behind that, I should say. And then behind the one right next to it. Super tricky. Take your time and you can get it. Oops, see, I went into the stitch. Because if you just go behind that one there, then you're just going into the stitch, and that's not what we want. Right there. Let's see if I can do it this time. It's that one right there. There we go, got it that time. You're gonna yarn over, pull out. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through one. Yarn over, pull through both. And then go back into the center. And do the same. Yarn over, pull through one. Yarn over, pull through both. And there you go. You just do your 40 more, or however many more, foundation single crochet stitches. Whoops. There we go. I gotta play with this stitch a little bit. There we go. Pull through one, pull through both. Come on, pull through both. There we go. Again, I'm going to do just a few more, and then I'll attach it to the other side. You can pause your video and keep doing your foundation single crochets. We'll do a couple more. One more. In the center, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through one, yarn over, pull through both. Ideally, you want it to be the same number of stitches as you did for the other handle. And like I said, I'm running out of yarn, so I'm just gonna skip that. You can keep going. But like you did last time, you're gonna skip this entire side and do a single crochet into the next first stitch on the corner. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this one right here and single crochet into that corners piece, just like that. And then do the other 2 stitches of the corner. Let's move these aside. And then finally, your last stitch is on that side. One single crochet in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You shouldn't need your stitch markers anymore, so go ahead and remove that last one and do your slip stitch into that first single crochet. And there you have it. Now, if you wanted to strengthen your handles, if you wanted to make them just a little bit thicker, a little more stable, you can do another round of single crochet all the way around. In which case, when you do that, you'll do one in each stitch, including on your foundation single crochet. If it looks a little twisted, that's fine. That's still the top of your stitch right there, is those 2 loops coming out of the previous set of 2 loops. So you'll put your hook into those spaces, right into the middle, as you can see. But if you're happy with the thickness of your straps, ideally they'll be much longer than mine. They should be long enough that if you wanted, you could just tie your pouch shut after you've filled it. But once you're done, you'll slip stitch into that, or into that first crochet. If you're doing another round, you'll chain 1, but if not, you'll just cut off your yarn. You'll want to leave a good tail. You'll cut off your yarn and then pull this through. I'm not cutting my yarn off just yet because I have a little bit left. I don't want to waste it. There we go. And then pull your tail through. That'll lock your stitches into place. And then you'll take your yarn needle, which isn't in the kit, I'm sorry. Your yarn needle should have a larger opening. And you'll tuck in your ends. I'll show you how to tuck in this bottom one. Go ahead and pull that as tight as you like, but you'll thread it onto your needle. My needle's a little thick, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to hide it in these stitches here. I'm gonna go in this one to go up a little. And then I'll just go around putting it in here. Kind of going between the threads on the stitches. And I'm just gonna keep going around. Until it's mostly hidden, and once I've got it, once I'm satisfied with tucking it in, I can just cut off the rest. Whoops. So like I'm kind of, see how I'm going in through the stitch there, but there's some on the other side. It's like I'm putting it right in between the pieces of the stitch. About to pull that out, aren't I? There we go. And you don't want to go in between the threads. That could be bad. You just want to try to go in the stitch. Once you've sufficiently hidden your tail, most of your tail, you can cut it off here and dispose of the scrap. To hide your tail on this end, you'll want to weave it in kind of the same spot. You'll try to weave it in through, where's my needle? There it is. Try to weave it through the bottom of the stitches here. Through those two stems. And there you have it. Your little produce bag, which should hopefully have larger handles than mine does. And it kind of cinches closed at the top, and you've got plenty of room on the inside. Let's see if I can set my camera up just a little more here. That's a little better. It should have plenty of room for more than you would expect. You can flip it inside out so the end that you hid the tail in is on the inside if you like. There we go. And that way you don't have to worry about that coming loose and showing on the outside. Show us pictures of your finished product in the comments, and hope you enjoy this craft.